And joining me at this time, my good friend, singer, songwriter, educator, hilarious dude, just a genuine good guy. One of my good friends, the one and only Eric Bolander. He is joining me right now. How's it going, Mr. Bolander?
Hey, what's up, Kitty? Thanks for having me. I like that introduction. I might take you on the road with me.
you know, I'm getting back to the swing of things on these music
There
shows.
you
Getting
go.
back to it
That's all right.
slowly but surely. But I have to see you one of these days. And you're a very busy guy. This is your second appearance on this show. The first interview we did, it was pre-recorded. And here we are on a
Here we
live
are,
platform, live in effect.
live.
And with Eric and with the Eric Bolander, I know anything can happen. So we'll see how this conversation goes as it progresses.
Yeah, sure thing, man.
So before I go any further, how's the family? How's everyone going with this whole pandemic and things reopening, the band and everything? How's everyone?
Everyone's good, man. We're hanging in there. We're, slowly getting back to things as they seemingly come back safe and taking precautions when we have to and doing the best we can. My little girl's getting bigger. She's 4.5 now, so
Mm.
she'll probably be telling me and my wife what to do another year or two.
With kids, they once they grow up on you, it's gonna be like, oh man,
I
you
know,
know,
I know.
this
But as
that
far as the band and everything, we've got some dates coming up this summer and some cool festivals, and we're trying to get some things rolled out.
so I do what I can to keep track of what's going on with, this pandemic as far as when we could do certain things, if you will.
Hmm.
So a lot of places have reopened for quite some time. And now it looks like come Memorial Day weekend, more restrictions will be lifted. So, to the credit of our fellow Kentuckians, our numbers have been decreasing, not overwhelming like it was last year. With
Sure
it,
thing.
so it's encouraging to say the least. So I'm very very thrilled. Regardless of what's happened last year, I gotta say, fellow Kentuckians, regardless how you feel, bravo to you if you survive. Bravo for just doing the right thing. I guess you could say.
That's right.
So pretty much. So we'll get to the shows you have coming up, but I want to get to the music side because you
Yes,
are
sir.
quite the talented musician, and you have
Appreciate that, man. I
and
appreciate your support.
yeah, so you got some music out already. One song in particular is "Cold Man." That was your first release of 2021. So we'll start with that. Talk about putting that song together and
Yes,
what
sir.
made you decide to make that your first release in 2021.
So have to back up a little bit to the summer of 2020. I started putting out some singles. Came out with Magic Moon, and then had a single come out in the fall called Window.
Mhm.
So back February of 2020, we began tracking this new record, and of course, we all know what happened in the middle of March. So
Yeah.
we hadn't been able to get back into the studio, and we were sitting on those 4 songs that we finished. So I wanted to kind of game plan and come up with sort of a strategy to get those released, regardless of when we get back to the studio, which we have finished the new record completely, and we're actually mixing that at the moment. So those 4 songs, the third one was Cold Men. We decided to wait until the new year and kind of put it out and maybe get through all the other things that happened. It was a pretty publicized election year. It was
Yeah.
the pandemic was going. There's a lot of things going on toward the end of the year that we were like, well, if we could put off just putting out a single, maybe a couple months into the year, So we released it February of this year. And then we just released Montgomery Hill, which we unfortunately had to take right back down. We had a small edit issue with it. So that's taken care of, and that should be back. The brand new single, Montgomery Hill, should be back up on streaming, hopefully this weekend. If not, it'd be next week probably. But Cold Men was a song. It's kind of it's a reactionary song toward this coal mining company called Black Jewel Mining Company out of can't remember what all areas they were, but this particular mine was in Harlan County, Kentucky, a town called Cumberland, Kentucky, and those folks were protesting on the railhead because they had owed them several months of wages and filed bankruptcy. It was a big old mess, and it was got some national attention, and it was just people being done wrong by people that had more money, basically, and I didn't care for that too much. So I felt like as a songwriter, I think folk writers and songwriters, that's kind of what we do, reactionary songs sometimes, and that's what Cold Men's about. It's about that situation and what it would be like to be in a family that was affected by that company.
Hmm. So yeah, definitely. What I admire about you, Eric, is how versatile you are as an artist. I seen the acoustic
Thank you.
side, I seen Americana side, I see country side, and when you part of bands, I see the rock edgy side.
Right on.
I don't see all sides of Eric as a performer, and you put in the work, man. It's well received, and I've been to shows. And I've seen
Right
you
on. You've
doing
been to a bunch of
solo.
shows.
Yes, as solo shows
Yes,
you
sir.
do and band shows that you do. I seen all types of music that you put out, and it's incredible, man. So I admire that. I've always admired artists that's willing to do more than just one thing, be outside the box, if you will, and willing to
Yeah,
challenge themselves.
and my influences are so broad, and I think I could, I'm not unique in that. There's plenty of even personal friends of mine who are songwriters, musicians. They have a lot of the same influences, but I know a lot of folks that are have the same type of broadness and variety in their influences. And I think that's what I really try to bring to my own songwriting is not to be scared to jump off the track a little and not be sort of pinned down to this subgenre. Folks get real worked up over it, I think, sometimes, and you get over sort of protective as a fan of certain artists. You're like, oh, Sturgill Simpson put out this rock and roll record. It's a soundtrack for an anime movie, and everybody just lost their minds. It's like he's an artist, man. He's an artist. I mean, it's just. I mean, I feel like that's something that's important for I think just us in general to realize. Hey, man, respect the artist and also allow them space to make something you hate and be okay with that. Well, I'm just not going to listen to it. But also, as the artist, not be afraid to ruffle those feathers a little. I think is important because you should just make what you do. If you're a pop artist, make it. Make pop music. That's great. Yeah, I mean, there's fans for a lot of stuff, and I mean, I have some of my most favorite artists in the world. There's songs I don't ever listen to, and I think that's fair. But also, I go back to those artists and listen to the stuff I do like. I don't just kind of, you know what I mean? I don't just kind of dismiss them. So that's where I feel like I put that kind of music out. Is like, Eric Bolander stuff is going to definitely be within the Americana folk, some country-ish leanings. It's definitely going to be within that realm. But yeah, I'm going to have some rock and roll side of things that comes out of that because I'm also in a rock and roll band, and I've been in metal bands, and I just feel like that has to come out of me. It just does as an artist. I think the more you write songs, the longer you do it, the more some of those influences just creep into that without even you trying.
Yeah, well said, man. Artists just gotta be authentic and just be true to themselves. And being
Right on,
willing
man. There ain't
to,
nothing. There ain't nothing better, in my opinion, than someone that's just genuinely who they are, and genuinely as an artist. And now, production, you make decisions. You make decisions on the business side of things. You're either lying or oblivious if you don't. But you can still do those things and be true and genuine.
well said, man. And I'm all for artists just being willing to do things different.
Sure.
Go
Yeah.
go that route. I'm like a
Yeah. Absolutely.
I'm like a music unicorn. Um,
Right.
I'll listen to hip hop one day, and then I might listen to rock the next day. Just matter what I feel at the time. And people
Yeah.
got their different tastes, you know. I think fans be too caught up in certain music, certain songs, and then when an
Sure.
artist want to go a different route, they lose their mind. Like, oh no, you know. But it's, at the same time, people grow out of stuff like that and feel the need
Yeah.
to want to go a different route, and I can understand that. You know, that's part of
Yeah.
life. Like we grow.
Totally, man. Yeah, totally. And I mean, absolutely. You grow and change, and maybe you grow, and within that growth, you don't necessarily change artistically as much as others,
Yeah.
and that's okay too.
So okay, it's all right, man. Just calm down. It's just part of life. You know. You know, mom and dad be telling y'all like, look, you're gonna grow up in this world and you're gonna figure out things that maybe we didn't know. But just know that, you know, if you need anything, if you need some support, some questions, don't hesitate, man. And
That's right.
it's like so. That's life in general. So just people just gotta like let these artists grow. Let them do some things. And if you like it, cool. If you don't, no hard feelings. But you know, the
Yeah,
artists still gotta be true within themselves at the end of the day.
totally. I mean, there's
So
plenty of artists out there. Move on to the next, person and try them out.
yeah,
Keep listening to the old stuff that you like, and
yeah,
um, I do. And man, I've got some cool fans that have kept up with me for a very long time, and it's really humbling, man. And hell, I'm nobody, and for some folks to like know my songs and like sing along, and that's I don't know that feeling will ever go away, even if one day I'm, selling out the borough or something. Like I don't
yeah,
know that feeling will ever go away, because it's just such a high compliment when I pour a lot of myself emotionally and sort of just mentally into the song, and for people to just connect with it. That's a humongous. Uh, I mean, it's a humongous accomplishment, but it's way more of a kind gesture coming back to me. It's like blows my mind when people order handwritten lyrics and frame it and send me a picture. It's like, hey man, look, I put it in my living room, or it's above the record player. Or I mean, it's so wild. And I just hope that feeling never goes away. To be honest, it's
yeah.
so
So
very humbling, very very humbling, man. It's like the best compliment ever. Someone that just connects and has a story to tell you because of your song or something like that. I mean, that means a lot to me. And maybe some artists don't care; they just write songs and do their thing. But I think for most artists, most of your sort of independent side of things, they really care what their fans think of them. They really care what their fans had to say and the stories they have to tell and how they connect with it. It's great. I love hearing those things.
well said, man. So today is an interesting day for me. It was on this day 7 years ago that I moved to Lexington. Well, in
Oh,
this
nice.
case, moved back to Lexington, living on my own, literally. And then I went on this journey called supporting local music. And
That's right.
let's just say I haven't looked back. It's just re energized me as a radio personality. It's given me a purpose for this show. And
Well, man, we
without look.
appreciate you being there, dude. You've been
Yeah,
all over the place. I've seen you at all kinds of shows,
yeah.
not just my own.
I'm like the boogeyman. I'm, I'm there, whether you
Can't look in
like
the
it or
mirror and
not.
say Kenny's name 3 times.
Yeah.
You'll
all
be
we
there.
need is a meme and myself, like just getting into the door, just opening the door to see that look on my
Yeah,
face. Uh,
yeah,
so it's a lot of fun. I've met so many people along the way, so many musicians, different colors, different walks of life, different genres. You know,
yeah,
it's
man.
a drug. It is a drug. It's a good drug.
Sure,
So
sure, man.
I
I mean, it's awesome. We need, as performers and songwriters and musicians and everybody, we need folks like you, man. Honestly, I could I could rattle off, a dozen names of people that don't play an instrument that come out and have done a huge thing for Lexington music scene just by being not just in attendance, but like sharing it and like giving it some sort of validity. It's like, oh man, I was at this cool show at the Green Lantern, and then you either have a podcast or a radio show or just a blog or something. Like all kinds of people, that put that stuff out there. Like yourself and Matt Wickstrom's a big one, and Capture Kentucky, and I mean I'm missing 1,500 people, but like there's tons of people that do it. You know what I'm saying? That go to it and enjoy it and aren't trying to like you know rub elbows and get money or something. It's
yeah.
like it's just because you're passionate about it and you want to sort of shout from the rooftops. I'm the same way. I mean, I love name dropping friends that play. I'm like, please listen to this person. Please listen to.
Yeah.
And sometimes I think people get annoyed by it, but I'm like, I don't care. I want to keep doing it. I want them to hear it. I want people to hear it. Like my buddy Derek Spencer and all my friends and my bandmates are in other bands, and just I want folks to experience the joy of music the way I do. Because I was a music fan before I touched the guitar. I didn't touch a guitar till freshman year of college.
Mm.
So I was a fan. I was a fanboy way before I even thought about playing.
Yeah, I've heard of acts before because of you.
Right
Guys
on.
like a Derek Spencer, Noel Smith, um,
Yeah, yeah.
Taylor Hughes,
Right on.
Caitlin Bradford. Which, by the way, the first show I went to that was you. Miss
Nice.
Bradford was there. I forgot the
Oh, that's
name
cool.
of Toasted Barrel. I think it was somewhere downtown. That was a long time ago. Just
Yeah.
jeez, times flies indeed. So
Yeah,
everybody,
that's
man,
awesome.
everybody, go check out Cold Man by Eric Bolander, and he will be re-releasing Montgomery Hill either this weekend or next week. Next week.
That's right.
So if you got a chance to hear it before it got removed, more power to you. If you missed out on it, he gonna bring it back. Just gotta put
That's
some
right. That's
tweak it
right.
here and there. So
Yeah, it just had a tiny edit that I, I missed through the whole process, and then we had to pull it down and fix it. And my producer Dwayne Lundy's here in town, Lexington Recording Company. He got it knocked out for me in no time, and he's great. He's taking
yeah,
care of it for me.
absolutely. So you are a very busy guy with the shows. You got a lot of shows on the horizon. I hear you got a bow bash coming. It feels like a wrestling event that I need to go check out.
Yeah,
But so
yeah, yeah.
talk about the shows you got coming up, man, in the following weeks and
So I've
so.
got on the 22nd. That's Bow Bash. It's just some friends of mine, songwriter friends, and it's actually on the back porch of my best friend's house. It's an outdoor event. Plenty of space to spread out and do your thing, and it'll be in Richmond, and all this stuff is on my website, which is just ericbolander.com. But you can check out the events that are on there. Most everything has a Facebook event as well if you do Facebook, but the website's fine. You can click on there and look at ticket links, and we got some more some tour date stuff that we need to get finalized, and we'll start plugging those things up as they come in on the website. And but yeah, the 22nd will be in Richmond, Kentucky. It's a ticketed event, and it's $20, and it's going to be, oh gosh, like 7 hours worth of music. I'm not looking at it in front of me. I'm gonna blank on it. But Derek Spencer,
Yeah.
Chelsea Nolan, Jen Tackett, Nolan Taylor. I feel like I'm missing at least one. Without looking, Geno Seal.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great, man. Oh yeah, it's gonna be such a fun time, and it's just bring your own cooler, bring your, your camping chairs. It's gonna be fun, real fun. But that's on the 22nd, and then we've got a really cool thing. Excuse me, I'm part of Black Mountain Management, and we have a Black Mountain Jamboree, which is June 4th and 5th, that first weekend of June, and that's at the Hidden Ridge Campground in Kentucky. And you can get tickets. There's weekend passes. I think, oh gosh, there's maybe a dozen left. So, there's not too many left, but it's my band and DOG and the Minks and Brother Smith and Nick Jamerson, Wolfpen Branch. I mean, it's going to be a fun 2 nights of music, camp and all that stuff. So that's coming up. And then, of course, I'm on the Laurel Cove Music Festival, which is June, the second weekend of June, whatever those, I guess it's 11th, 12th, whatever that is. And it's just packed with stupid amount of talent. But that's the Laurel Cove Music Festival. And July 3rd, I'm at the Rooster Tail Music Festival, which is a pretty small festival. They kind of shorten their lineups. It's just 2 evenings instead of all day, but we're on the same evening on July 3rd with the Stillwoods, and I'm so excited about that. I love that band.
Shout out to Nick Jamerson, who's, by the way, going to be at Whalebird in August.
Yes, sir.
They're bringing it back at Keeneland. I will be there for both days.
There you go.
Just get yourself hydrated, because I was there at the very first one. I have water with me.
Nick is one of my favorite songwriters, man, and he's, of course, in Sunday Best with Chris Bentley, and those cats are so good. And they're doing a reunion. They're doing some shows this year as well. But I'll tell you, man, Nick Jamerson's absolutely one of my favorite songwriters. And to hear him sing, be in the same room, and share the stage with him several times. I mean, I've become friends with him over the years, and there's some solid people out there, man. There's so many solid people that are doing the thing, and just doing what they love, and they're passionate about it, and they care about it.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be a very encouraging summer.
I think so, man. I think we're, some folks are vaccinated, and I'm happy to. I've been vaccinated since February, and I'm ready to get out and shake some hands, maybe hug a couple people.
I've been fully vaccinated since April, so
good deal. Good deal.
I'm good. Great chatting with you, Eric. Everybody, check out the website, ericbolander.com, for the shows.
Kenny, thanks so much for having me, brother. I appreciate you having me.
Appreciate you, man, and we'll see each other down the road. You take care, man, and we'll see each other again.
Yes, sir. I'll see you.
All right. You have a good night, man.